Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Amazon KDP and keyword research. I do have several videos on keyword research, and this is I'm probably going to put together a list on the series of keyword research, just because this area is kind of important, and you can tackle this in a lot of different ways. So I'm trying to show you the many different ways that I look at keyword research, because a lot of people do overanalyze this part of the business. Although it is important, I do teach, and I do say this often, that most keywords are profitable. It's just a matter of how soon you'll get your money back and how much traffic there is. But most keywords, especially the ones that I show that just pop up on the keyword search on Amazon, are profitable. But anyway, today I'm going to show you another tool that I use to look at keyword research, and I'm going to put that all together. I'm going to talk about Google AdWord Planner in combination with this. I'm going to talk about BSR, and I'm going to give you examples along the way so you can apply it, so you could see step by step the mindset and how it all works. All right, so we're going to get into this. If you're not a member of the channel, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and if you like the content, go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, click below and subscribe, because I do provide content here every week to hopefully help you build the business. All right, guys, let's get right into it. All right, so let's get into it. Let's first start talking about Helium 10. I'm going to provide a link below. Full disclosure, this is an affiliate link, but what I'm going to show you today is how to use this for free, the way I use it for free. So go ahead and use the link anyway. It's going to be for free, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get this for free down here. So the link was going to bring you to this exact page here. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, here, and it says Get Started Today. Click on that, and then sign up for free. All right. There's a free version, $0 per month. That's what I use. I use the extension. Here it is up here, Helium 10. Once you sign up for this, you'll get the extension up above, and that's what I'm going to show you how to use today, how I use it. But go ahead and use my link in case in the future you do step up and get this. This is really good for other products on Amazon for sale. They are ramping up on how to use this for KDP, but I've learned to use this for KDP for free. So let's get right into the lesson, and let's start using this. And I'm going to show you a couple examples here right away. All right, so I like to use keto diet a lot just because it's a high traffic keyword. It's a high traffic topic, and then I could contrast that with other topics. So let's get right into this, and I'm going to type in here. We already have the Kindle store. I'm going to type in here keto and keto diet. Let's do a research for that. We see a competition. There's 10,000. This is highly competitive. All right. You have to first distinguish between real authors and self-publishers. So real authors are you're always gonna see a lot of reviews here. 5,261 reviews. Real author, 5,000 reviews, 17,000 reviews. All right. So basically, what I teach is you have to look for self-publishers, and you want to know if the self-publishers are making money with this keyword. And what has been taught in the past, and what the mainstream of self-publishers teach, is that you want to have this BSR, right? Let me show you what the BSR, for those who don't know. This is the BSR down here, 59,000, BSR 2,515, BSR of 81,000. So the BSR, the bestseller rank, gets calculated every single hour. So I have always found it a poor indicator of profits, because in my experience in publishing so many books, the BSR has never really told me how profitable, or if a keyword is really profitable. From my experience, from the evidence that I have based on a lot of different keywords that I've published, the BSR is a very poor indicator of return on investment. If you guys have watched my videos, if you're new to my channel, you're going to see that the business model that I teach is return on investment. So when I invest into books, when I publish books, I'm not looking to hit a home run and to land on this first page for keto. I don't worry about that. I worry about investing 1,000 in and getting 5,000 back return on my investment. So I'm going to, number one, I'm going to publish in high traffic keywords where there's a lot of traffic, and that's what we're going to talk about today, and staying in evergreen topics that are not going to disappear this year, next year, and the next 10 or 20 years. So the BSR is a very poor indicator because it's not really going to tell you, it's not really going to show you that through the next 3 to 5 years that this book is going to continue to sell. And that's what I look for. I'm okay with the book selling a couple of times per month for the next 10 years. That's what I'm interested in. It's like I'm putting money in the bank. Not really. I'm putting money into a book, into a digital asset, and that's going to continually come back to me every single month with profits. And that's what I look for. Now, a small percentage are going to sell like crazy, but overall, my portfolio is built on these sales happening every single month consistently. Okay, so let me show you how Helium shows me this without taking into account BSR. So step number one, we're going to disregard real authors. And real authors, again, have this high count of reviews. This is another one. This is another one. And here we have a self-publisher, only 27 reviews. This came out in November 26, less than a month ago. This is another one here, November 30th, only 3 reviews. These are self-publishers. And this is what I'm going to look at to see how these books are selling specifically. So here's another self-publisher. You could always tell with the covers are not so great. This is not a great cover. This is not a great cover. This is not a great cover. It looks kind of, I don't know. It looks kind of fake. Like it almost looks like a pirated movie that you would buy off in the streets, CD or DVDs. Let's see this one here. No reviews at all. Here's another self-publisher. This one's for free. These are all real authors. Look, 6,000. Another cheesy cover. Only 1 review. Let's get into one of the first ones up here. Let's analyze that with Helium. So let's go into this one. And by the way, you have to click into the book to use this part of Helium that I'm going to show you. So first step here, again, you're confirming that these are self-publishers, and this is a self-publisher because he's number 1 in aviation and piloting and flight instructions. This is very cheesy tactic to use, and I'm going to explain to you why. Number 1, this is very cheesy because it's not relevant to keto diet. You're confusing the algorithm, and you want relevance with your books. You want relevance in dieting, something related to a cookbook, something related to dieting. This does not help. Although they think this is helping, this doesn't help because if he's running ads, it's going to confuse the algorithm. All right, so we scroll down and here is Helium. Helium is going to automatically analyze if there's sufficient amount of data. The only thing I don't like about this book is that it has been published very recently. So we don't have 30 days, we don't have 60 days, we don't have 90 days of data. So I'm just going to introduce Helium to you here. And here it is. And you could see that the book came out here sometime in November 30th. It was probably for free. And then the price went into 99 cents. That's the blue line. And it's been at 99 cents up until December 10th. And then it kicked up to $2.99. So he did some type of promotion here. And what I want to educate you on this is that every dip, so if the BSR went from, as you could see, sales rank went from 1.6 million, it dropped down to 91,000, and then it dropped down to 52,000. Every dip is a buy. So there's a buy, here's a buy, another buy, and then it's not selling here as the BSR starts to creep up. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for sales. So let's look at another book because this is not a great example All right, so I had to go up to page 7 to find a book that's not from November or December in keto. This keyword is so saturated, especially during these months, super saturated. So everything is recent. So I found here on page 7, this book is from March. So let's get into this one. Only 11 reviews. And if we scroll down here, you can confirm the publishing date was March. So we got a good amount of months here to analyze the data. Now, if you were just to look at the BSR as of right now, it's 9:56 in the morning in Indonesia, December 14th. The BSR says 219. So a lot of people might say, oh, that's not making money. It's ranked in vegan 400. It's ranked 333 in healthy cooking and 171. So a lot of people that are not educated on self-publishing will say, oh, this is not a good niche. It's in the 200 range. It's not really making good money. But let's look at the Helium and let's see what the Helium says. So here we have data for the first time. We have data 90 days plus 30 days and all time. So let's go back to the last 24 hours. I'm sorry, the last 7 hours and the last 7 days. And we have, let's see, a sale. Another sale here. This is just for Kindle. And another sale here. And another sale here. So a couple of sales here in the last 7 days. That's really good for $2.99. I don't see a print version for this book, or maybe they haven't linked it. Let's go back 30 days. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This book is selling well the last 30 days. Last 90 days, it's selling well. So every dip you're seeing here is a sale. So if I were going into a very brand new keyword that I was not familiar with, I know keto diet is a profitable niche. So I don't need to do this to understand that this is a profitable niche. But I'm trying to show you that when you're going in for the first time, you want to find self-publishers and you want to see that there are sales happening here consistently. This is very good sales count. So this would indicate to me that I would want to publish in this space. But I already know that this is profitable. But you can do your own research and you can use this app right here to show you the type of sales that are happening depending on how much data it has. And look at all the sales here since the time this has been published. Granted, this is only for $2.99, but you should be able to do you should be able to have sales, and maybe not as much as this because this is a $2.99 price. If this book were to be selling at, $10, $12, $13, $14, $16, you can have a lot less sales, but this just confirms the data. So let's pair this up. Let's pair this up with Google Analytics, Google AdWords research, so you can confirm also the traffic for this part of it. All right, so I'm here in Google Ads Keyword Planner, and I want to show you here the word keto diet. Monthly searches 1 million. That's average for the last 12 months. So you have to scroll over this section here, and I want you to pay attention to this. As you can see that the search volume, November, December, it's going up. January, it's going up, and then it starts to drop. So like I told you before, this keyword, or dieting in general, you're going to have these months leading into Christmas and January where people are going to want to look good, or they're going to feel guilty right after the holidays, and they're going to be focused on diets that are going to lose weight, or people are going to be setting new goals, etc., etc. So these are the times to publish in these areas. And then throughout the rest of the year, you're still going to have a lot of research traffic for keto diet because it's such a big keyword, but you have to understand the spikes and timing your books. In my particular preference, I'm not into keto anymore. I've published enough in it. I'm over it. It's just, as you could see, I had to go into page 7 to find something that was not published in the last 30 days. There's just a lot of books coming on a daily basis, and I just don't like it anymore. All right, so let's look at 2 other examples because I really want you to get this. So I've already looked up anti-inflammatory, and let's look at the contrast here. We're going from 1 million searches only to 110,000 searches per month. All right. You could see the spike here in February, and then it drops off. 110,000. And I also want you to look at another keyword here, keto diet for women over 50. Keto diet for women over 50. I want you to see the contrast between a general keto diet and a keto diet specifically. You're going down to the level of very targeted market of only women and only women of over 50. Just look at the search results, only 590 searches compared to 1 million. Let's look at these two examples in Amazon through Helium so you could start getting a better understanding of how you put this all together. All right. And keep in mind, I said that mostly all keywords are profitable, even this one that only has 590 searches per month, even this one that has 110,000 compared to 1 million searches. Let's look at those data points here on Amazon. Okay, so I've already done the research here. Let's refresh it. Anti-inflammatory diet, you can see it's a lot less competitive, only 2,000. Keto diet had over 10,000. So let's do the same process here. This is a legit book, over 4,000 reviews. Here is the first culprit here, anti-inflammatory diet. As you can see, the cover, it's not so great, but it's ranking pretty good. This is from December. I don't want to see that. This is another legitimate book, another one. Let's look for a self-publisher here. This might be one here. 61 reviews. Let's see. This is definitely one. This is a bundle here, 2 books. Only 16 reviews. No, this was out of November. That's not going to work. Let's see here. Just scrolling down, trying to find a self-publisher here that has not published so recently. December, November. Let's pause this here. Okay, so I had to go into page 3 to find something that wasn't from November, December. And so we could get some good data going back. Here's the book here. So here's a book going back to June 2019. This is going to give us a good data feed. Only 5 reviews. Let's see who this Sandra Fox is, just to see if we get any more data before we get into that book. So she's got 3 books here. This is a self-publisher, and for sure, 5 reviews, 9 reviews. If this was a real author, guys, there would be tons of reviews because she would have built some type of following to continue to publish real books. If she's a real author, she probably had a blog, she probably had email lists, all that. So let's get into this anti-inflammatory that we saw Google monthly searches of 110,000. You yourself might be thinking, well, can I get into publishing with only 100,000 monthly searches on Google? And let's look at this here. So we're looking at the Kindle, and she has it priced at $6.99, which is pretty good. And let's look back at the last 30 days. Last 30 days, we have some type of sale here. Another one here. Another one there. Another one there. So a couple of sales here in the last 30 days for the Kindle. Let's go back to 90 days. Here you can see it very clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so this is selling. This is selling every month. And let's go into all time. Here you can clearly see it. All time, we're going back to 2019. It had a lot of sales here. That first year, a lot of sales, a lot of sales. I like this data here. It shows me that this book has made X times its money, its investment, which I like from a self-publisher. This is only for the Kindle. Let's see if we get some data for paperback. Again, we're going over the Helium, try to get a picture of the type of sales this has. Now, this is the print. This is harder to gauge. Let's look at the all-time. Here you go. So here we go in 2019. It had sales, 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 sales. It's been selling consistently for June, almost for a year, and then it stopped selling here almost a year into it. And here there's very little sales going on. You could clearly see this, clearly see a representation of sales. And this is the best way to see. And this is what I'm kind of interested in, the print. And not all books have it if there's not enough sales. So this hasn't been doing well for the last, since after a year, it's kind of died off. There might be a few sales here and there. Like you go from, let's see here if I could show you. 2.2 million, 5, and whenever you see a drop happen here, yeah. So there's maybe like 1 or 2 sales happening every month, and then all of a sudden, in December we started getting sales again. So this doesn't scare me because I see that there's Kindle sales happening. I know that there's very few sales happening here in November. You would have to dig into the data here. You probably have to go back to 90 days and you'll see the sales happening. Let's go back 30 days. 235, 234, there was a sale there. 238, 239, 240, there was a sale here, dropped to 239 again, 240, 242, 243, 244, 245, and we're no sales here for many days. And then boom. Okay, so this doesn't scare me because I see that there are sales happening, and this book is pretty old. Maybe this person is just not running traffic through Amazon ads, but I see that Kindle sales are happening, so I know there's demand. I see that there's demand in Google telling me that people are actually searching for this term, for this diet, and it might just be, I like the cover. This is a decent cover. This person has an audiobook as well. And the audiobook is ranking really well, 37,000. So I put all of these things together, and it's ranking in appropriate categories, right? Diet books, dieting, and it's 37,000. So this was a good investment. This book has made its money back. It's still going to sell. It's going to sell for a long time. Maybe this person is not managing their Amazon ads. All right, let's look at another example. All right, so let's look at an example now of keto diet for women over 50. We saw that the traffic is about, the traffic for this keyword in Google is about 590. So the question becomes, do you want to get into this type of low traffic volume? So let's look at that with Helium, what that looks like. When we type the exact search term, look at the competition, only 800. People teach this kind of things, or they advocate this of trying to get into this very low results. I like to be in the competition. I like out there for there to be a lot of traffic. I have published this particular keyword because I just, I like to diversify, but I'm not crazy about very little traffic, and I think 800 is very little traffic. So let's look at this example here. 38 reviews. This is a self-publisher back in August. We should be able to see some data here. We're not going to look at this bundle. We're going to look at just the one book. So let's go into the author here, author's page. This is a self-publisher, and let's find this one book here. Here it is. So only 13 reviews. Let's take a look at that one, and let's see what Helium tells us. So for the Kindle, let's look at the all-time. For the Kindle, when this came out, it was free. Then he jumped this up to $4.95, and he's pretty much kept it there. Look at it when this is probably free right here. It's free, so right away people pick up the book. But anyway, there's sales happening here throughout. There's sales, so there's a lot of sales happening here throughout. And then it's just come here, let's say October, just very few sales happening. And let's look at the paperback. I'm not advocating one keyword here or another. I just want to show you how you can use this keyword. Look up keywords, look up traffic overall, and then take a look at the actual sales happening for a book. I think this is fantastic information. So you have sales going on here. Let's go all time sales, 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 sales. And then come October, very slow sales here, and then very little sales happening in this part here, October, where things should be actually picking up because of Christmas and the season. It's kind of slow here. It's kind of died out. This person might have made his money back. Let's see how many pages this book is. This book is 160 pages. This is an expensive book for 160 unless he has pictures in there. Either way, it's a pretty expensive book for 160 pages. You be the judge here if this is a space that you would want to get into with the lower traffic. And you compare all of these. You have to look at the cover. This is a decent looking cover. I like this cover. So you have to take all these things into consideration. But this tool just gives you a visual of the type of sales that are happening. I could show you also books that sell really well. It's going to be the opposite. This is just going to be an up and down throughout its history because it's selling well. All right. So this is how you use Helium. And this is your understanding of the BSR. You shouldn't put too much weight on the BSR. This is a much better gauge to see the type of sales. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up, but I want to give you one last tip. Helium is just the beginning. It gives you a very good visual as to what is happening almost in real time. Almost in real time. Now, that is only the beginning. Once you start understanding the power of this, you will see that just, for example, within keto diet for women over 50, you can actually start seeing all the self-publishers and you can see who's doing better than who. And then you could start figuring out why one publisher is doing better, and it's most likely the cover. And then you could not imitate the cover. You never want to imitate anybody exactly for what they're doing, but you could get the vibe, get the feel for the cover that is resonating best with customers. It's all about the cover. So that is just the beginning. What I've showed you with Helium is just the beginning because it shows you exactly the type of sales that are occurring in everyone's account. All right. I hope this helps you. If you find value, go ahead and subscribe to the channel or at least like the content. And I will see you guys in the videos down the line. Cheers.